Intellectual property right, IPR commonly known. The property which is created by intellect is an intellectual property, and the rights which are attributed by law is intellectual property rights. It's a very simple explanations about the intellectual property rights. There are various forms of intellectual property like a patent. If you invented something, maybe product or process, for an example, dust-free chalk. What we believe that necessity is the mother of invention, but technically it's called a technical solution to the technical problem. So dust was a technical problem, and someone invented dust-free chalk. So his invention is entitled to get the patent, and that's lead the exclusivity, monopoly to that particular inventor who invented dust-free chalk. So patent is for inventions. Trademark is a visual symbol. You can identify the source. When you say Tata's salt, it belongs to the Tata. It's as simple as it is. So Tata, that trademark is a visual symbol. When you say the Harry Potter is written by J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter is J.K. Rowling. So here J.K. Rowling enjoys the copyright of Harry Potter, who spent huge time, energy and efforts and created intellectual property. So why it is called as a property? Of course, there are two aspects of the property. One is a movable property. Two forms of properties we know generally. One is movable, another is immobile. So if say particular classroom belongs to any university, so that classroom is immovable property of that university. If at the same time the table which is there in the classroom, that tables is a movable property of that university or that academic institute. So we know that movable and immovable property, but the property which is created through intellect is intellectual property. So that's why it gets a separate status like a copyright, trademark, patent, and for communities intellectual property, it's a geographical indication. A best example can be quote here is a Tirupati Laddu gets the geographical indication. Tirupati Tirumala Devasthan, they are preparing this prasada, laddu, since generation, and then with unique process of preparation, they got the geographical indication for the Tirupati Tirumala laddu, which laid to the curb the immoral practice of selling the prasada outside the mandir. They stopped such kind of illegal, immoral practices and maybe cheating to the devotees. So intellectual property, it's intangible property. You cannot see that in your eyes. It's a different property than the movable and immovable property. Enjoy this special status, and it's incorporeal. There is no shape. You cannot find that the shape is there in my mind, particularly with respect to the book which I intend to write. So that's the intellectual property, which is much more valuable than the other thing. So, and it has a very huge amount of percentage. For an example, if you wanted to buy a Parker pen, you can pay a minimum 100 rupees or 200 rupees, whichever the price may available. But if you remove the name Parker from that particular pen, so you cannot pay 100 rupees, you can only pay 10 rupees or 5 rupees. So what's the value of the name matters. So that name of the intellectual property, the value of the intellectual property is a very big, very huge, and that's the intellectual property, and GI is a community's intellectual property right, granted to community, belongs to particular specific region where the unique product, from where the unique product comes.